Here's a speculative timeline of the Super Mario 64 July 29, 1995 build, focusing on a development process where personalized horror elements and new character features are introduced. Early 1995, concept development. Nintendo decides to make Super Mario 64 a groundbreaking 3D platformer, adding more experimental elements to surprise and immerse players. Personalization system brainstorming. Developers toy with the idea of a gameplay experience that adapts to each player. This includes elements that remember players' behavior and change the environment subtly to create a unique experience. March 1995. Luigi as a playable character. The team begins experimenting with Luigi as an unlockable, second character who has unique abilities and can access alternative paths through levels. Early design documents suggest he will be unlockable through secret in-game conditions. April 1995. Wario apparition concept. Inspired by the darker, surreal concepts introduced in Yoshi's Island, developers create an eerie Wario apparition concept. The idea is that Wario appears only under specific, secret conditions, acting as a challenging and unsettling boss. May 1995. Prototype of the Wario apparition boss fight. A basic prototype of the Wario apparition fight is developed. The apparition exhibits strange, distorted behavior and uses unsettling voice lines. During the fight, experimental visual effects mimic disorientation, with blurring and glitchy effects that add to the horror. June 1995. Stroke-like effects testing. Developers add gameplay effects that mimic symptoms like dizziness and control difficulty during the Wario apparition encounter. Testing reveals that some players find these effects genuinely unnerving, but they are kept as a part of the horror-themed boss fight. Save file corruption effects. For an additional layer of mystery, a feature is added where save files appear to corrupt temporarily after encountering the Wario apparition. When loaded again, slight differences appear, like altered character dialogue or changes in Mario's animations. July 1995. Endgame secrets. A hidden final message feature is developed. Players who collect all stars and unlock every secret are shown a cryptic, dark message or an ominous cutscene that varies based on their choices and playstyle throughout the game. Late July. This build is considered a prototype. While the team feels some of the horror elements might be too intense, they preserve this build for internal reference as they refine the game for its final release. August 1995. Build revision and refinement. The team decides to dial back some of the horror elements, removing the Wario apparition boss and replacing disorientation effects with more traditional challenges. Luigi and other secret content are removed as Nintendo focuses on a more straightforward platforming experience for the game's release. In this alternate timeline, Super Mario 64 could have become an early example of personalized horror and adaptive gameplay mechanics as something nearly unprecedented in its time. 4.